I will move this aloe into this large clay pot. I think this clay pot was used for water, but what happened to it is it has a crack in the middle, on the bottom, and so the water is leaking from it. So you can't store water in it. You can put plants inside. That is because plants like when water is leaking, because they need it for drainage, so that the roots will not rot. And therefore this pot is perfect for this aloe. And the problem with this aloe is that it got very tall. His leaves are reaching the floor, and so you can't even put it anywhere without touching the floor. And if it will touch the floor, it will have nowhere to grow. And that's why it is good for aloe to put it on a high wall. This way his leaves will go down. And what happened here is that Naim accidentally sat on it and 2 leaves broke. But it's still growing new leaves, so it's healthy. What I did first with this clay pot is I will put large rocks inside, also because I have a lot of rocks there. This is a good way to use them. And also it's good for like drainage and stuff. So first I will put large rocks. Also because this container is so large, if you wouldn't fill it with rocks or with dry leaves, what I'm gonna do later, you would need a huge amount of soil. And when you fill it with rocks and leaves and compost, it means you will need less soil. Mix soil with sand. Also aloe likes to have smaller spaces because it doesn't like a moist soil. So the smaller space there is, the less soil there is. The faster the soil will dry. And he likes when the soil is not soaking wet, because aloe is like a cactus. They like deserts where you don't have much rain, so they are used to live without the moist soil. And therefore I fill it with rocks, maybe 1/4, 1/5 of the size of this. Then I'm gonna put some dry leaves. Eventually these dry leaves will decompose after like a couple of months. So it's not gonna look like this. It's gonna decompose and be part of soil. And then I'm gonna put soil. This is the soil from another plant, so it has some compost inside and dry leaves inside. The level I put soil in is that when you test it, you put this small pot inside and you see the soil you put is high enough, like this. Because you're gonna remove the plant and it's gonna be the same size. So it's gonna be like this. This pot is now stands on the soil. So when you're gonna remove the pot, it's gonna be the same. Here. Has roots here. So now I just need to put. I don't fill the soil until the edges. I leave the space because when you're gonna water it, you don't want water to come out to overflow straight away. You want water to go down. So this space is for water to gather and then water will go down. But I'm not gonna water it today because the soil is already moist, and if you water it, it will be even more moist and aloe might rot. So I will wait like a day or 2 until the soil has completely dried, and then I'm gonna water it for the first time after the relocation. And another thing, you have to put the pot in a shadow, because again it doesn't need too much sun in first couple of days. It might shock it. It already shocked because of the movement, and the sun will put more pressure, more harsh conditions on it. So this pot should be in a shadow. And also what I like to do is put rocks around, just makes it look nice. Put rocks or stones, some pieces of charcoal, anything to make it look nice, because the spot looks empty and just 3 colors: brown, black and green. Stones, for example, will add colors to it, will make it more entertaining. Also, it's better not to put rocks in the middle, but put them around the edges. This is because aloe grows babies called pups, like this one, next to the main plant. And so if you put rocks here, these babies would not grow, might show up but they would not have space to grow. And so I put rocks around the edges. And these pups can be separated. You separate them the same way as when you move the aloe. You just remove the aloe from the main pot and cut it with knife. And then put these pups in independent pots. They should be around this size of the finger when you move them, so even this can be moved. I think for this can just cut it inside with a knife, very deep, because they should have own roots there. And this is another aloe which grows in a large clay pot. It feels very good. Has huge leaves, even has no space to grow. So aloe likes clay pots, and it's very big. And the pieces of aloe, like this, sometimes I cut for skin from mosquito bites, or I just remove this pulp and give it to turtle. Where is it? He eats aloe. He lives next to aloe as well. We'll see how it's gonna feel. Leave it for a couple of days and we're gonna see how it's gonna feel inside this pot. Yeah?